Hey guys, my name is Haley, and today I will be filming my intimidating TBR Pile Tag. And I was actually tagged by Vanessa from Split Reads. I will link her channel down below. And let's get started. Question number 1 is, what book have you been unable to finish? That would be Night Film by Marisha Pessl. And I originally bought this book because it got a lot of hype last year, especially towards like Halloween time, because it's a thriller and the cover is beautiful and I loved it. It's also really heavy, but I don't know what it was. I got 204 pages in and set it down last October and just never picked it back up. Like, I wasn't interested in where the story was going. I don't know if I just wasn't in the mood for it and was reading too many creepy type books, but I was just not into it. I think I'm gonna hang on to it for a little while and see if I end up liking it sometime in the future, but for now, it's not a priority at all. Number 2 is, what book have you yet to read because you just haven't had the time? And actually, currently, I haven't had the time to read anything but the Pendragon books because it's a 10-book series and has kind of consumed my life, but I'm enjoying it. But the book I picked for this is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I'm so excited to read this book, but I'm also terrified because it has so much hype and I'm so scared that it's not going to live up to the hype, and I just want to love it so much because it comes so highly recommended by so many booktubers that I trust and that I have really similar interests with. So I'm so excited to get into this series, but I just haven't done it yet because, for one, it's a pretty big book. It's about 500-600 pages, I think. And the sequel's like 1,000 pages, which is intimidating in of itself. But yeah. Number 3, what book have you yet to read because it's a sequel? For that, I have Strike by Delilah S. Dawson. This is the sequel to Hit, which I read last year. I actually borrowed it from the library and loved it and ended up getting it off of Book Outlet as soon as it came in stock. But I loved Hit. It was actually one of my favorite books of last year. And this is like twice the size of that book, and I was not expecting it. And I actually pre-ordered it and I just haven't gotten around to it. I talked to the author on Twitter a couple of times and I love her tweets. It's hilarious. You should follow her. And also really like the cover. It's very different from the first one. Number 4, book you have yet to read because it's brand new. Now, I don't really buy a whole lot of new releases like as soon as they come out unless it's a sequel, and even then I usually wait a couple weeks just because I never read them right away. But I actually chose Wink Poppy Midnight for this by April Genevieve Tcholke? I don't know how to pronounce it. But look at this cover. Oh my gosh. It's so pretty and I'm obsessed with it. And it's one of those like velvety covers that I love. And it's really short. And this is actually, I can almost guarantee you that this will be the next book that I read as soon as I'm done with the Pendragon books. Hopefully that'll happen within the next 2 weeks before the month's up. Number 5 is book you have yet to read because you read a book previously by this author and didn't enjoy it. So the thing is that if I read a book by an author before and I didn't like it, odds are I'm probably not going to buy their new book or their next book or another book by them. I'm more likely to borrow it, and then if I like it from reading it, from borrowing it from the library or a friend of mine, then I'll buy it. I didn't really have an answer for this. So instead, a book-to-movie adaptation whose adaptation I didn't like, but I am still interested in reading the book, and that is The Lucky One by Nicholas Sparks. And I'm not always a big fan of the Nicholas Sparks movies, and I've only read one of his books. It was Nights in Rodante, and I read it a really long time ago. The only reason I enjoyed this movie is because Zac Efron is in it. But I am interested in reading this book because I kind of like the storyline and I do own it, so. Number 6, book you have yet to read because you're not in the mood for it. I have World War Z for that, and I'm just frankly not in the mood for it because I want to read it around maybe Halloween time or at least in the fall, and I just didn't get around to it last year even though I was planning on reading it. I've also heard really mixed things about it, I think, and that worries me a little bit because I've been having issues with that lately. Number 7, book you have yet to read because it's humongous. The Diviners by Libba Bray, because this book is bigger than my head almost, and I'm pretty sure it's like 600 pages, and the sequel's just as long. Yeah, it's almost 600 pages. And I have, again, heard mixed things about it. I do know it's supposed to be creepy. It's probably another book that I'll read more towards Halloween-ish time. Number 8 is a book you have yet to read because you bought it as a cover buy to only later find out that it had bad reviews. And that is A Little Something Different by Sandy Hall. Because this cover is gorgeous and it's so cutesy and looks so romancy and like cute love story. And I know it has a million perspectives, and I think that was actually the issue a lot of people had with it, which is concerning because that's what I thought was so interesting. So I have yet to get rid of it because it's so pretty, but I think I am gonna read it. We'll see how it goes. Number 9 is the most intimidating book on your TBR pile. I actually just bought this and it's so heavy. And that is Theilluminaries by Eleanor Catton. I have no idea what this book is about. I found it at a thrift store. This book is enormous. It's closing in on 800 pages. It weighs about 10 pounds. It's much bigger than my head, and I think the fact that I have no clue what it's about is probably a big part of why I find it so intimidating, but I have heard good things of the people I have seen talk about it. Oh, apparently it's a ghost story. Clever ghost story and a gripping page turner. That's interesting. Maybe it'll be a little bit like Diviners. I don't know. But yes, this is currently the most intimidating book on my TBR pile because it's enormous. Quite frankly, that's the reason. Number 10 is Who Do You Tag? I am actually going to tag people in this and I'm really excited about it. I'm going to tag Oshina from Oceana Loves Reading. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. I should know how to pronounce it because we're friends. But alas, I've never asked, so I'm so sorry. I am going to tag Taylor from Book of Licks Taylor because I love her videos and I love that she does one takes because up to this point, I've done one takes. I don't know if I'm going to continue to do that because I'm slowly learning how to edit. And then I'm going to tag Emily from Emily Reads. I will tag and leave those links to all of their channels below. And I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching. See you next time.